This is the story that I'm going to read is David and Goliath. David and Goliath. David was the youngest of 8 sons. His father was a shepherd called Jesse. When David was growing up, and Samuel visited Jesse's family, he told them that the king Saul died. David will be the next king of Israel. God has especially chosen him, so David knew that God was with him. In a special way, David works hard. God has a reach to teach him to be really good shepherds before he can make me the good king, he said. David played the harp and sang his own songs about God King Saul's. Sometimes asked David to go to the places to sing for him. When the king was in the bad when the king was in the bad mood, David's songs make him feel better.
Yeah. You check this sometime I was reading. Yeah.
David's brothers were soldiers. They fought in the King Saul's armies. They were often away from home for a long time. No, I'm doing a walking club. The father was pleased that David was at home to keep him company. He was the old man of David helped him look after the sheep. David often spent days of night out of the hill. He had to take the sheep to places where there was grass and water. There were lions, wild bear, and wolves living in the hill. David was sometimes afraid. He had to fight off with the wild animals to keep the lambs and sheep safe. One day, when David came back from the hill, his father said, "You can leave the sheep of one of the men to look after. I want you to go to visit your brothers. Take him to some good friends and bring him back news of them." So David had some food to set off on the journey. It was a long way, but David knew the hill very well. At last, he found his brothers in the Israel armies. They were really frightened. "What's the matter? What's the matter?" David asked. They pointed to the hill across the valley, over there with those soldiers. In the giant Goilath, they said they wanted one of us to fight him. Why don't you?" asked David. "You are in the army as a living God. You will win. If you're so brave, then come to tell the king you go." To the brothers. Sneak the brothers. They were very surprised when David did just that. They said he told the king that he would to go to fight Goliath, and that God what was right for him. You must have my helmet and sword. Sword, said King Saul, but everything was so heavy that David could not stand up. I can't wear this, David said. It just doesn't take, it just takes a sling and stove I use when I am in shepherd. He took his sling and carefully put 5 smeared stones from beside the stream. When Goliath saw David walking across the valley toward him, he laughed so loudly that the Israel had to cover up their ears. Goliath had a sword and a shield, but when he saw that David had brought only stones and the sling, he was angry. Do you think you are only fighting to keep your sheep safe? Cheeks. But David knew how to fight with stones, who took out his sling and he filled the stone into it. When he was close to Goliath, he shouted, I come against to the name of the living God. David swelled them and sling around above his head. When he let go, the stone flew out and hit Goliath and his forehead. It was just the one place where it could be hurt. The stone killed Goliath. David drew the giant arm's sword and cut off his head, and then saw that Goliath was dead. That ran away, and Israel cheered when they saw that David has done with Goliath. They ran after the road, driving him out of their lands. All the Israel saw that David had to win the battle. Once I had won the battle, then knew that has run away. They danced in the street and sang songs about David. The brave shepherd, King Saul, grew jealous because everyone was talking about David. David had learned to trust God when he was a shepherd. He was a shepherd. Now he had killed a giant because he knew that the God was Israel. Israel was a living God and helped his people. David would know how to trust God when became king.